Good afternoon, everybody. Today's our topic of discussion will be about architecture of chromosomes. So today we will be studying about the architecture of chromosomes, the different parts of chromosomes, what are chromosomes and different parts of chromosomes, and then what are the functions of chromosomes. So that we will be studying in today's class. Now introduction. Now what is actually the chromosomes? Chromosomes are the microscopic thread-like structures. So they are like thread-like structures which are present inside the cells, and that are the mainly responsible for carrying the genetic information from one generation to another in the form of genes. So they are the thread-like structures. If we divide the chromosomes, it will be into two parts, that is chroma and zome. Chroma means color and body. So they are the colored body, different stages of like in the cell division, mitosis, meiosis. So there are different uh, colored of chromosomes also. So they take different stains. So that is why they are called as colored body. In the year 1842, Carl Nageli was a Swiss botanist who discovered a structure which later known as chromosomes. However, it was first discovered by Strasburger in the year 1815, and the term chromosome was given by Voltaire in the year 1888. Now, we can say that it is an essential element of life, because mainly the chromosomes, they are the thread-like structures which carries the DNA. DNA is mainly the genetic information which is transferred from one generation to another. So they are located inside the nucleus. So the chromosomes are located inside the nucleus in a particular cell, which carry the entire genomic DNA of an organism, and it is arranged in a specific order. Different species have the different chromosome number. Like humans, generally we write 2n. Here we have written 2n means diploid chromosome number. So the diploid chromosome number of humans will be 46. In case of potato, it is 48. Rice has 24. Monkey similarly has 42, and mouse has 40. So if we divide this 46 by 2, that will be haploid chromosome number. But generally we write the diploid chromosome numbers. Now, what is the structure of chromosome? Coming to the structures of chromosomes, it has different parts, or the structure of chromosomes. That is why it is called as architecture of chromosomes. So there will be primary constriction and secondary constriction. So the primary constriction will be like this here, and this one is a secondary constriction. However, the pellicule is the part that is the outer covering of the chromosomes that protects from outside environment. And then matrix is what? It is a jelly-like structure which is present inside the chromosomes. And chromonimata, they are the bead-like structures which are present inside the cells. Whereas primary and secondary constriction, I have told you. Now the spindle fibers. Spindle fibers are what? They are the thread-like structures which generally help during the mitosis cell division. So whenever the anaphase or the metaphase stage comes in the cell division, so the spindle fibers, they help to separate the chromosomes or to form an equatorial plate to move towards the opposite poles. So what helps? What structure helps? It is the spindle fibers which helps in the separation of chromosomes to the opposite poles of the cells. And satellite is what? It is a last portion, that is the last portion of the chromosome is a telomere. So satellite are mainly are of two types, which we will be studying in the later slides, like microsatellites and mini satellites. So there are two types of satellites. Generally in satellite region, there is repetitive sequences are present inside the satellite region, and satellite sequences are mainly present in the telomeric region. Now, one by one, we will go into the detail. First one is centromere. It is the primary constriction at the center of which the chromatids or the spindle fibers are attached. So centromere is the primary constriction where the centromere is attached. Okay, mainly the centromere divides the two chromatids into two portions. Its function is to enable the movement of the chromosomes during the anaphase stage of the cell division. So during the anaphase stage of the cell division, mainly the centromere or the kinetochore, it helps in the separation of the chromosomes to the opposite poles. Now, what is chromatid? Now, chromatid is during cell division, a chromosome is divided. Generally, during the cell division, the chromosome is divided into two parts, that is called as chromatids. Okay, so and it is joined by a centromere. Like this is the two parts of the chromosomes, two chromatids, and this one is the centromere. Okay, so the middle portion is called as a centromere, which helps to join the two identical strands. A chromatid is each half of the chromosome joined. Each chromatid contains DNA and separates at anaphase to form the separate chromosomes. Both chromatids are attached to each other by centromere. Chromatin is what? Chromatin is mainly, you can remember it, a chromatin is what? It is the DNA plus protein. So whatever the genetic information or the genetic material that is present inside the chromosome is the chromatin. So DNA is a genetic material, as we all know. So it is a complex of DNA and proteins that forms chromosomes within the nucleus of the eukaryotic cells. So the combination of DNA and protein which is present inside the nucleus of the cell, that is called as chromatin. Nuclear DNA is highly condensed, since we all know that, since it is like a wool, which is thread-like structures, which is woven like a ball, like a loose ball, but it is highly condensed. It is wrapped around the nuclear proteins, and the nuclear proteins are around it in order to protect it and in order to fit inside the nucleus. So mainly chromosomes also help the DNA or the genetic material to fit inside the nucleus of the cell. In other words, it is present as free linear strands. The chromatin contains DNA, proteins, and RNA. So chromatin is a combination of DNA and proteins, which is responsible for the genetic information transmission from one generation to another. Secondary constriction, as I have told you about the primary constriction and the secondary constriction. So primary constriction is also called as centromere or the kinetochore, whereas the secondary constriction is called as the nuclear organizer region or the NOR region. It is also called as NOR region, and these are the telomeres. These are the two arms of the chromosomes. Arms are like the two shoulders. So there are two arms of the chromosomes. First arm is called as a short arm, and the second arm is called as the long arm. The short arm is called as a P arm, and long arm is called as a Q arm. So here, chromonema is what? Chromonema is another structure of the chromosomes. It is a thread-like coiled filamentous structures along which the chromomeres are arranged. Okay, so it is a thread-like structures, filamentous structures on which the chromomeres are arranged. So you can just imagine like a bead, like a garland of beads. So the garland is like, thread is like the DNA or the chromosomes, and genes are arranged on it like the beads. Chromonema controls the size of the chromosomes, and it acts as a site of gene bearing. Okay, so they are actually the sites for the gene bearing. Now, what are chromomeres? These are bead-like structures. They are bead-like structures present on the threads or the chromonema. So similarly, I told you these are the thread-like or the bead-like structures which are present on the thread. Now, what is a thread? It is a chromosome or the DNA, and these beads are the chromomeres. And the number of the chromosomes is constant and is responsible for carrying the gene. So each organism has the number of chromosomes is fixed for each of the organisms. Like humans have 46 diploid chromosome number, rice has 24 diploid chromosome number. So each organism, the number of the chromosomes is always constant. Okay, matrix is what? It is the matrix, or it is also called as pellicule. Pellicule is what? It is a membrane surrounding each of the chromosomes, and matrix is a jelly-like structure. So jelly-like substance which is present inside the pellicule, which is not the genetic material. It contains the non-genetic. Here you have to remember it is formed of non-genetic material. So mainly it is not responsible for the any genetic material like DNA, RNA, or proteins, and nothing is present. It is non-genetic material. It is just a jelly-like substance which is present on the inside the chromosomes. And telomere is what? Telomere is a terminal. Terminal means the last portion or the region of each side of the chromosomes. So these are the telomeres. Now each chromatid has two arms. The short arm is called as a P arm, and the long arm is called as a Q arm. Telomeres are generally, they consist of the repetitive sequences. So certain sequences are there which are repetitive. Again and again, the same sequence will be repetitive. So they form the two categories of satellites. First is the microsatellites and the mini satellites. Microsatellites and mini satellites. The repetitive sequences are highly packed and does not encode any protein. However, they do not encode any protein. It protects other genes from the cell's own mistake called end replication program. Now, each chromosome has a constriction point that is called as centromere. So this constriction point of each of the chromosome is called as a centromere, which divides the chromosomes, and this centromere divides the chromosome into two portions, that is short arm and long arm. The short arm is called, as I have told you, the short arm of the chromosome is called as a P arm, and the long arm is called as a Q arm. And the location of the centromere, now we can also do the classification of DNA based on the position of the centromere. Okay, so based on the position of the centromere, we can classify the chromosomes into different types that we will be studying. So arms are the complex networks of the proteins in the DNA which genes are located. The densely packed area of the arms is called as heterochromatin. Now another two terms are there, heterochromatin and euchromatin. Heterochromatin region is a gene-less region rich in non-coding DNA. So heterochromatin is a gene-less portion. There is no gene. However, it also does not have any, it has non-coding DNA. Those DNA that does not code for any protein. Okay, whereas euchromatin is that region of the chromosomes that contains the genes and that is also responsible for coding the proteins. Okay, that is responsible for proteins formation. Now, I have told you that based on the position of the centromere, we can classify the chromosomes into different types. Like first one is the metacentric, submetacentric, acrocentric and telocentric. So based on the position of the centromere, we have classified the different types of chromosomes into four types. First is metacentric. As you can see here, metacentric is what? Since this is the chromatid, okay, these are the chromosome. It has two chromatids, short arm and long arm. Short arm is called as P arm and long arm is called as Q arm. If the position of the centromere is in the middle of the chromosomes, that is called as metacentric. If the position of the centromere is just above the middle portion, that is called as submetacentric, means just above the middle portion, that is called as submetacentric. And if the position of the centromere is very close to the telomere, very close to the telomeric or the terminal region of the chromosome, then that chromosome is called as acrocentric. And the last is telocentric. That means the position of the centromere will be at the telomere. So this type of chromosomes is generally not found in humans, where the position of the centromere is just at the telomeric region. Now, since we have seen what is the function and the architecture, what is the architecture of the chromosomes and the different parts of the chromosomes, now we will study what is the function of the chromosomes. Why the chromosomes are so important. So the DNA of the chromosomes, they carry genes which are responsible for transmission of hereditary characters from parents to offsprings. As we all know that chromosomes, the DNA of the chromosomes contains the DNA, and DNA, that is the deoxyribonucleic acid, is the main genetic material that is responsible for carrying the genetic information from one generation to another, from parents to offspring. So mainly these are also called as threads of life. So they are so important that the term has been given to the chromosomes as they are the threads of life. They are the essential part of any cell. Now, what is the function of chromosomes? It facilitates proper cell division and replication. So during the time of cell division, the spindle fibers, they help in the separation of the chromosomes to the opposite poles. So chromosomes in turn, they help in cell division and replication. And the main function of the chromosomes is to fit the DNA inside the nucleus. What is the function of the chromosome? It is to fit the DNA inside the nucleus. So since these are the thread-like structures, so the chromosomes, they help us to fit the DNA inside the nucleus of the cell. Because if we try to unwind any DNA, it will be as long as 2 meters in length. So how to fit such a long amount of DNA into a particular cell? So mainly the chromosomes help, and they coil in such a way that it can be fitted inside the cells. Hence, it is very important to fit inside the nucleus, which is facilitated by the chromosomes. By interacting with the proteins, DNA formed a coil-like structures. As I have told you that they form a coil-like structures that enables the DNA or to fit inside the nucleus of the cells. Furthermore, the chromosomes also help us to determine the sex of an organism. Okay, so there are two types of chromosomes: autosomes and allosomes. Autosomes here, autosomes are those chromosomes which are apart from the sex chromosomes. So you must be knowing that in humans or in any other of the organisms, there are sex chromosomes which are mainly responsible for differentiation into either the male or the female, which determine the sex of the organisms. Whereas there are certain chromosomes which are not responsible, which are other than those chromosomes which are apart from the sex chromosomes, they are called as autosomes. Suppose an example, suppose in humans, we have sex chromosomes X and Y. So all those chromosomes which are apart from X and Y, they will be called as autosomes. Whereas allosomes are what? They are the sex chromosomes which mainly help in the differentiation of the organism's sex determines. It determines either it will be a male or the female. So in humans, we have X and Y chromosomes. They pair together during meiosis, and this pair helps in the sex determination. Now, similarly, the other terms are like homologous chromosomes and non-homologous chromosomes. Since we all know that each gene has two alleles, one gene has two alleles. This is a universal fact that each gene has two alleles. Like for example, capital A, small a, small a. So here we are saying capital A, capital A. So both the alleles of a gene will be same. Similarly, if we are talking about capital A, small a, small a. Suppose it will be like small a, that means the two alleles of a gene are same. So if the two alleles of a particular gene are same, then they are called as homologous chromosomes. And suppose the two alleles of a gene are different, then those chromosomes will be called as non-homologous chromosomes. For example, the non-homologous chromosomes will be like capital A and small a. Okay, so homologous chromosomes, they consist of alleles of the same type of genes in the same loci. They are called as, so loci is the position of the gene. They are paired during meiosis. So if they are same alleles, then that will be called as homologous chromosomes. And if those two alleles of a gene are non-homologous, that means they are different. They are not same, like capital A and small a. So that will be like non-homologous chromosomes. Here I will complete today's topic. Thank you for joining.